I am still alive. Everyone 7:30. Hello, everyone. We are back to our sessions on the eighth movement. And today we have the last two. The last two are contracted hold and long exhalation. Now, as I already said, the hold that is more present throughout the eighth movement is open hold. Open hold is, there is only one really where we don't have open hold, and is the fifth. And also one that is not declared, so officially is not there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, always there is open hold. Then there is close hold. There is pretty much close hold also here and there. And then Gilwa. But contracted hold, there is only one, really. And this is the seventh movement. It's interesting because contracted hold in the yantras is every group of yantra has a contracted hold. And actually there is one yantra that is empty contracted hold. But this contracted hold is quite, according to my knowledge, that of course is very limited, but is not present very much in other, at least that I understand, Tibetan tradition of yoga. Maybe for people who are more familiar with Hatha Yoga can have some resemblances to what is called Uddiyana Bandha. Because the contracted hold is bringing the navel toward the spine. That is the contracted hold. And then some specific function is a kind of, it goes deep also in correcting certain kind of imbalances of different kinds in our energy of prana. But anyway, there is only one, while the most spread out is the open hold. And makes sense, I already told you why, because open hold, small or big, is a kind of preparation for the holding. It's like, I already said, the transition. What we don't have in the eighth movement is the empty hold. Empty hold we don't have. But there is empty hold in the 9 breathing, the exhaling 9 times then pure air. And in the rhythmic breathing, of course, there is empty hold. So when we have a set of exhaling 9 times then pure air, the 8 movements, and the rhythmic breathing, you have a nice kind of complete practice, especially according to the names of the method, to really purify and coordinate the condition of your prana. All the different aspects that connected to our existence, or what is related to the energy of prana. And actually, how much would take if we do it all together? 10 minutes. In 10 minutes can be done a nice practice without too much problems. And in the meantime, also the body is doing something, even if you are in the chair, but there is different movement, the body is moving, and also this is always good. If you have a little more time, then we have some exercises to open the breath that we already look at, some warm-ups to help the body doing certain movement. We try to do something a little general but also specific. So if sometimes you just want to do only some warm-ups because you feel you want to move, then you can do only the warm-ups. And the warm-ups, you don't have necessarily to stick to what I'm showing you. I'm trying to show something related especially to the movement, to warm up the body in order to practice those movements. But you can do whatever, even if you do this, is already a warm-up of some kind. There are infinite, absolutely infinite, honestly. So if you know something that is working for you from something else, why not using it? Of course you can. So on the level of the warm-up, you do what you like, what is helping you, what you know, freely, absolutely, total freedom. When you do the 8 movements, then, well, there we have to respect the structure of the 8 movement and how they are done, actually try to understand very well how to make it work at their best, because that is a precise principle. So we can adapt a little bit according to our capacity or our limitations, but always remember that you cannot or should not or try not to change the main aspect that is, except from the first and the last, the main aspect is the holding. Actually, also in the first there is a holding, and also in the last. But the name of the first and the last is about inhalation and exhalation. Also the fourth and the fifth, the name is inhalation and exhalation. But there is always hold in between. It actually, especially in the fifth, the hold is a big part of what is the characteristic of the movement. So you see, we have to be sure that of the synergy, the interdependence of the movement and the breathing in order to help shaping, especially in the holding, in the correct way. If you respect that, if you have to slightly adapt for some reason, then you can do, but not too much, because otherwise the best is that you really try to understand very well what is that changing even so slightly sometimes the position of the body is changing what happens to the breathing. So we do it from here very easily. You stay straight, and now you keep your knees together, really, knees together, feet together, the hands you can leave where you want, and then breathe. Maybe take a slightly deep breath so you see better, you feel better the movement of the breath. Okay, now open a little bit, relax the knees and open. Breathe a little deep and observe. And now open and breathe. And now open more. Now observe really very nice what is happening here. You probably feel really the belly going like a big pot or a balloon. Now close again and look. It's gone completely. Open again. One is focused more below, one is focused more high. And now we go in midway. And you see that is in the midway. It's starting from below, but not too much. It's moving up, but not too much. It's also opening a bit to the sides, so the spine remains more aligned. You feel it a little on the back. So you see, we say, we are just doing this or this. Yes, but changes. So if it's just inhaling and exhaling, more or less, if you are trained starting from below, is going up. If you are training, doesn't come up too much, doesn't block the throat, because if you do like this, and instead your attention do like this, then you are changing the position of the spine, then probably you block. So that is not good. If you do like this, it's much more difficult to do that, because the dynamic is different. But still, you can balance a little bit. But if you have to do a holding here, but you inhale like this, and inhale here, then it's a problem. That's the point. So if we want to change something, just only thinking of how it's easier for the body, without understanding the influence that has on the breath, especially in relationship of the breath as preparation for the holding, then we might do something really different. So a movement that is called directed hold might not be that, might not direct anything, or might direct in another direction, for example. So I think that in the chair is quite easy. There is no much really need to adapt too much. There is always this possibility that there is a little bit this need. So I suggest during this session, I really try to do my best to try to clarify from what I understood are the different influences in the movement on the breathing, and what is the optimal way to try to get to the precise condition of the hold. So instead of trying to go with what you think that you know, maybe now and then, if you have the possibility, look again a little bit of the explanation. So if you see something that is slipping away, is a little bit far from what is supposed to be, and then you can always correct. It's not that we are creating an enormous problem if we do something a little bit. No, of course. But still, if you do it precisely, it's better, because it has more effect, more coordination. And the breathing, that one, you really have to stay on the breath. You really have to try to not let it block or tense or fragment. You really have to try to have always the flow of the smooth, the fluid, the calm breathing going. Okay. So now we go a little bit, we do an exercise a little more dynamic for the breath. First, I show you. Okay. So we exhale. We can go on the teeth a little bit because we want to go back a little bit, something like this. Not simply this, but you move back a little. And the head like this, but not pushing too much, slightly controlled. So you see, I speak like this, but I should be able to speak more freely. So you don't block here. Like this can also stay relaxed. But you go back a little bit like this, doing this movement. So you have to stay a little bit on the front part of the chair. In this case, the feet parallel, it's okay because the movement. And then we exhale. And we already done this yesterday for the fifth, but this is different. We exhale, closing the chin against the chest. Then we start inhaling, and then we favor the in-breath from below. And then, when you're coming up, you start opening the arms. The arms are not too soft. They are controlled. And finish the inhalation, you rotate the arms forward, rotating the shoulders in this way. So you bring the air up nicely here. And then, as before, you don't stay here, but lean backward. And then, starting to exhale, you start moving back the arms, going with the back straight, lowering the head. And here you turn a little bit the arms like this, closing a little bit the shoulders. When you feel the exhalation is totally done, then you inhale again. Inhale, going back and rotate. Exhale, counter rotate, and coming forward, back straight, chin against the chest. Rotating the shoulder, close the shoulder, open the shoulders. Okay, is enough. We sit here and observe the breath. Hopefully, it's nicely open. So now we do the 9 breathings. And I prefer a little higher. Ready? In. Out. Empty. Still empty. Into the other side. Out. Last time. In. Exhale thoroughly. Stay empty. The other side. In the center, exhale in a position. And then elbow to the side. Come forward and exhale thoroughly. The moment empty. Then go back. You see, probably you had an experience that maybe we are inhaling and exhaling a little longer after having done something to open up the breath. And this is a nice preparation. So now we do a little bit of warm-ups, specifically more for the next two. Actually, the warm-up for the last is the same for the third, is the same for the sixth, because the position is the same. Instead, for the seventh, that is a little different. But first of all, we do some of our warm-ups for the arms, because we need for both. I already said there are many exercises we can do on the chair, but I'm doing only some pertinent to the exercises. Pull, the other side, both, both, both hands at the side of the shoulder blade and push the elbow up. Feel the side stretching. Now to the side, arms straight, lean. Down, lean. Feel the side nicely stretching. Don't block the breath. We have this tendency when you're distracted to hold the breath. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, now we continue this stretching. We do the second stage of this one we already done on the side. First, let the leg relax. And then, with the hand on the root of the thigh, we move down a little bit beyond the knee. Don't put pressure. And then come back here and do like this. If you find it hold on the heel, don't let the knee go under pressure. And then we go to the other side. This is a little more advanced, but something a little more advanced we can have. First, relax. Then move down. Otherwise you keep it here while you go down. In theory, you can go to the toes and then here, and you stretch. Breathe, relax. Come back. Now still legs straight up. Straight, like this. The other one not. Perpendicular. And then lean forward again here. Then we switch. Always don't go down with the head. Move with the navel. Forward. And then put the foot before the knee. And we gently roll from the navel forward, go where you can. But now, if you can't, you go inside and go like this. If you want, you can come with the hands in front, but doesn't change much. Also, this one is a little advanced, but is really nice too. You might feel something inside here that is waking up. And then we switch. Always rolling forward from the navel, only until and where you can. Don't push it. Actually, if you feel you could push it more, no, back off and stay there a little bit. If it's going down more by itself, but don't push it. Then, if you can, inside. Believe it or not, this one is a very good one. And then we cross, we turn to the open side a little bit, don't push it too much. And then to the other side. Here you try to turn more using the chair at your advantage, whichever way. And then we try to go a little bit down to the side. When you do that, take advantage of this phase that you are doing like a warm-up to train coming up with the foot and going really nicely, and try to go down and feeling where your foot should be so that you feel comfortable with going down, because we are on the chair, not on the floor. And if you are with the block or something, the same thing. You see, if you go too much here, then you lose the balance. So it should be a little more here, and then you have no problem at all. So you have to try and find the point so you will remember. Then the other side. No, I just did this side, then the other side. First we go to the open side, just a little bit. And the other side, more. Then come up. And put it in a place where you are comfortable with going down. Okay. Now we come back here. We stretch again, one hand in between the shoulder blade and the other one along the side. Stretching. And then we change. Stretching nicely. Back straight. And then try to grab from behind your arm in this way. Like the first of the 8 movements, you try to grab it from behind. And then the other side. Arm straight, not bent, straight with the fist. And you grab it and then turn like we did before, this movement, but now you do it with the fist, but do the same movement. Rotate. Grab it and then rotate. Not bending it. No. Grab, grab, and rotate. Grab and rotate. Grab, not like this soft and loose. No, controlled. Not like this. It's not Shunsel, but it's controlled. Grab and rotate. Not this kind of movement. Is rigid, is straight. Grab, rotate from behind. Grab, rotate. Grab, rotate. This kind of movement to the side. Okay. Shake a bit. Now, leg straight. You find one point do this movement a little bit. Okay, and now we move forward like this and relax a little bit. And you can also calm down more and relax. And slowly, you come up. Slowly. Now we should have a nice fluid breathing, and we do head movements. Okay, we do it one after the other, but sometimes maybe there is a moment of interval. For example, when I put the blocks if it's needed or something like this. Otherwise, I try to find a way. I don't have to stop necessarily. I try. So, as the other day, I will guide you with the indication of the breathing. Arm along the side. In, out. Slow in. Open hold, cell tensing, out. In, out. In, out. Slow in. Open hold, out. In, out. In, out. Slow in. Open hold, out. In, out. Second, in, out. Man left up, in, open hold, directed hold, out. In, out. Now right side, in, out, in, open hold, Direct it, hold a little faster. Out. In. Out. Now together. In. Out. In. Open hold. Direct it, hold. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Open hold. Directed hold. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Open hold. Directed hold. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Slow in. Open hold. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Slow in. Open hold. In. Feet up. Out. Feet down. In, feet up. Feet down, out. In slowly. Open hold. In. Out. These are the first four. I hope that everything is clear. I cannot see you, so I cannot know if somebody doesn't have it clear and wants to ask something, but I hope it is. Now we do the next two, the fifth and the sixth. Remember, fast inhalation and close hold. We arrive like this. In, out, in, Chunzel, slowly out, in, out, in, out, in, hold, slowly out, in, out, in, out, in, hold, Chunzel, tense, slowly out, in, out, in, right over left for women, for men, out, sorry, let's start again. Talking and doing, sometimes I get confused. In, out, in, hold, hold, out, in, out, in, now left over right, out, in, hold, hold, out, in, out. Maybe with this one we do it again, because this one is maybe is the most complicated, not the most difficult necessarily. On the chair probably it is, because the 7th that is difficult on the ground, on the chair is not. So it's probably the more difficult. And that the one that is a little more complicated to coordinate. So we finish in this way the previous one. Then inhale, opening arms and legs. You don't have to push back, but open to the side. And then when they come like this, one is going down, one is coming up, is grabbing the big toe and try to put this way, while the other is going to the side and keeping very close down. And in doing this, when you are on the ground, you necessarily have to go down to be able to grab here. Here, not necessarily, but still then we go down a little bit, not too much. And remember, we have to lift the foot, or if you have a block or something, otherwise it doesn't really work. So you grab a little like this, then inhale, going back, navel forward, so you stretch the back and the head goes back, and then to the side where you're grabbing your foot, you go 1, 2, closing the chin against the chest, keeping the navel forward, keeping the back straight. Then move toward, looking toward over the shoulder. Don't let the back go down. You keep stretch the back, keep tight. Then exhale, inhale, and exhale. Then again, inhale. Now man the left over right, women right over left. Exhale, grab on the side. Inhale, foot up or the block. Hold, ear to the shoulder, to the chest, toward and above the other shoulder. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. So I hope it is clear. Remember, always you have to try to keep the back straight. That is really important. Don't do like this. Okay? All right, now we have to go to look the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. The 7th for Drempa. This one on the floor is complicated for many people, but here is not, luckily. Now, we have to understand something first. Drempa, it means that we have to feel the abdominal muscles pulling back toward the spine. The navel should pull back toward the spine. So in order to do this, you have to do a little exercise to understand. It's a little similar to the one we did before in the beginning. That's also why I did it, because the position of the arms for the next and so on, even though the declared purpose was more to open up the breath, but in reality it was doing other things for the movements. So we cross our arms like this here, and we breathe. And probably, if you are like this, we breathe more down than up, but that's not the purpose now. But you don't feel anything in your abdomen. You don't feel any contraction or anything. Then we move at this level. Again, probably there is nothing special. You go like this. You try to feel a little bit. Maybe try to feel a little bit something is activating this part of the abdominal muscles. Then you go up above the head, like we do in the first movement. And here you feel a little bit control of the side. But if you go back to the point that you kind of arrive at the back of the chair, if you don't fall, otherwise you stop midway. But then when you go back, you can also go back like this. It's not exactly the same, but you feel. Now you can feel a little back pull of the abdominal muscles. That is the action of Drenpa. If you do it on the floor, of course, can be stronger, but even like this, you can really feel. You go back like this and feel the pull here. That is what should be Dren, the pulling back of the navel toward the spine. So here, there is the first part, there is Chunsel in the first inhalation, but this one is a little complicated in the sense that we have to transit from here to this, and then we do Chunsel after. So I will show you. We finish here. I'm going a little slow, eh? Some people could also do it like this, but maybe it's not for everybody. So for everybody, it's easier to pull back the legs and going here. And then straightening now is more easy. This is not a problem. Okay? Now, since the position here is not as tense and it is on the ground, then you really have to do a little bit like in the first of the movement, really control very well the body so that you feel this back pull. You should feel a back pull. Then it means the Drenpa is activated. Otherwise, it's not. So there should be this sensation. So you find a way you stay more balanced, or you can also lean on the back of the chair. You have to, first of all, you have to control very well the legs. The legs are very, very controlled. And then you can feel the pull. Okay, now we see the phases, the different phases. We finish like this, the previous one. So inhaling, now you should start tensing the body and stretch the arms, the legs, sorry, forward. And you can somehow hold a little press the legs down and feeling really things are contracted. But you inhale doing this, and then you exhale, arms along the side. Now you tense strongly the legs, pointing the feet forward, and you do exactly like the first movement, only forcefully. It means with intensity and fast, like this. So in doing this, you want again to favor the expansion of the air, mostly down in the abdomen, and not too much because you do a kind of quick. Okay, so not too much and absolutely less in the chest. If you do it slowly, you bring a lot of air to the chest. But this you should do it forcefully, so it's a kind of quick. So there is not much air coming here. And then you remain in open hold. And if you can, you try to come up a little bit in open hold in 2 counts. Otherwise, if you can't, you remain. And then you take the legs and go in drain. Then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. It might seem a little odd and maybe difficult, but it's not. If you try, the only thing that might be a little difficult is this. But with this kind of position, is not a problem. You have only to balance this angle with this angle so that you feel this lock and backward contraction. So you move these two a little higher, the legs, very well controlled, and you see when you feel that. And you should not feel blocked. This is open hold before. 1, 2, and then you take this, and then you feel, try to, maybe in this case, move a little backward, the cross arms, with the legs up, and you really can feel a nice drempa, a nice pulling back. We do this 3 times. So I repeat. 2 counts, inhaling, tensing. 2 counts, exhaling. Forceful, a little quick inhale. 2 counts in open hold. Then take the legs. Go in drain. Exhale 2 counts. Inhale and exhale. Everything is 2. Oh, it's hot. This one is hot. Okay, let's do it together. Everybody ready? Nobody's saying anything, but I suppose you are. Just kidding. We are down there, finishing the 6th. Inhale, tensing the whole body. Exhale, keeping the legs controlled. Legs tense, feet pointing, inhale forcefully. Open, hold 2 counts, bring the legs. Create the drempa. Exhale 2 counts. Inhale. Exhale, pulling back the legs. Inhale, tense. Exhale. Inhale forcefully, leg tense. Open, hold. Take the legs. Then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Tensing. Exhale. Inhale forcefully. Open, hold. Take the legs, go in Drampa. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Ah, very nice. Now we have the last. The last is for the long exhalation. And since there is nothing to change, now instead of coming up with the foot, I put the blocks. Now men go back crossing the left over the right, and women the right over the left. I show you. That is the movement. So, elegantly, but here is easy. Inhaling, we raise our arms and cross above the knee. If you're not the block, you have to go up like this. Then exhale, letting the arms along the side, back, and coming forward a bit. Not too much, but enough. Also depends. If you have down too much down this, then you don't feel exhaling. If you are nicely in the corresponding more or less position, then you really feel exhaling very nicely. So come down exhaling, not enough, not forcing, but enough to feel the exhalation. Then inhaling, you go back straight again, grab, as I've shown you before here, with the arm straight, and rotate, opening the chest, and inhaling nicely, very well. Then, with the tension in the movement, control, like you should do the fist like if you want to use it, then you bring the navel toward and the fist to below the navel, and this movement should be done with vigor, not like lifeless. Should be done with vigor, and then you see, you feel. We have looked about the Gilwa. This is Gilwa. You feel the rib cage closing, and then obviously when your rib cage closed, something is directed. And now here is where you want to have the foot not too much here, otherwise you lose more to the side. And from here in Gilles, you start exhaling and turning, and go down like this. Now, if you really have a problem, you can't move the foot or something, then the solution is, after you have done the Gilwa, you let go and hold onto the side and try to exhale thoroughly, long in 4 counts. So I repeat, do like this, then do the Gil. It's not exactly the same, but it's better than you falling down if you find some problem with moving your foot somehow. Otherwise, if you move the foot, it's not such a big problem. Gil. And then again, remove it back and forward. Now, for people who can't grab from behind, then you don't. You leave your arm as much as possible. Like when we did this exercise. That's what one of the reasons we did it. So if you cannot get here, then you simply stay like this, and then, but still you have to keep this arm really controlled, very firm, a little tense somehow, because you have to rotate the shoulder to open the chest, and then with this control you put under, and exhale. The same thing if you have problem with the balance when you exhale. If you are not grabbing the arm, and this movement you do it, so in this case you do it a little from down. You don't go like this, you go directly somehow down, like this, put it under the navel, and then if you don't have balance, again, you are here, you let go, hold on to this, inhale and exhale. So you have to see a little bit by yourself what is working for you. For me, works better moving the foot, and is also more elegant. Only there is a little bit to do this and then come back, a little bit of moving the feet. If you don't like to do that, then you have to try to balance this way. Otherwise, it's not so easy. There is not very much equilibrium. Okay, so now we do it together. Finishing down, in, one moment. If some people, if doing this movement somehow doesn't come very easy, then you can help yourself in this way. Without blocking the breath. You can try to do this if it's necessary, but should not really be necessary. All right, starting. Everybody, going down to start. In, out, in, Gil, out, slowly, in, out, in, Hold Jilwa. Out. I've been doing a little slowly so everybody can be more together. It's a little easier. Okay, so these are the 8 movements, all of them. One more thing about this. When we exhale, you don't try to grab when you're still down. But you are like this, you start inhaling, for example, 1, and on the 2, as 1 finishes, you grab and finish the 2 with the rotation. So you inhale normal, the arms are not moving yet. And then toward the end, when you're almost straight, grab, and the rotation comes when you are straight. Because the air should already come out from below, and now expand nicely in the chest. Heel, turn, turn, turn. You push this shoulder. You don't try to go like this. You just move the spine. In this case, going to the spine like this and move the shoulder while you're exhaling. And then you can do a very nice, full, complete, thorough exhalation. Okay. Now, we relax 1 moment. Just in. Just in. Time. Okay. Good. That's what I thought. Okay. Now we do some rhythm. Some rhythm. Nice position for the back. If somebody feels already a little tired for the back, or the chair is not the best, or whatever, can put a little something on the back. So we are sure we are nice and straight, comfortable. And then the little breathing is called rhythm because we count and we move the arms according to a certain rhythm, and the rhythm determines how long we are inhaling. The basic rhythm is 4 counts of inhalation, fluid. We already understood, I hope, very, very clearly how it is, what should be the quality of the smooth, fluid breathing. Starting from below and moving up, inhaling and exhaling, starting from the top and moving down. Fluidly, smoothly, not only on the center, pushing up the chin, but also to the side, keeping the spine balanced. And then 4 counts, more or less is 5 seconds, because the count is a little on the slow side. But if it is not possible for somebody, then in the beginning you can a little bit adapt the rhythm to your capacity. But the ultimate idea is to have a rhythm that is like a rhythm of a person that is healthy, that is relaxed, and so on. So more or less, possibly slower than a second every count. So 4 counts, and we count in this way with the hand is going to the left knee, going back to the right, going to the center, and snapping. Sometimes some people say they are left-handed, if they can do it with the left hand. I suppose there is no any particular counterindication, but for example, I don't know, it's not to say me, but I am a right-handed, but I can do it very easily with the left hand. So possibly maybe also for somebody left-handed, it's not so difficult to do it with the right. But in any case, the indication is to do it with the right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, we inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, we hold open. Now you know very well what is the open hold. Just we let the air inside relax. And then in 2 counts, we exhale. And 2 counts, we stay empty. A little bit like we were doing it quickly, the 9 breathings. You see, more or less, if we are doing quickly, it will be. You can imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, empty. And then inhale slowly. I'm not telling you in any way that that's how you should do the 9 breathings. No. The 9 breathings, they focus on a long exhalation. But I'm saying that the same structure of the shape of barley accelerated with 2 counts of empty hold, and you can have an idea how to do it in order to exhale properly. You can keep the same shape. First you open, then more strength, and then let it finish. And then stay empty. That is 4, 4, 4. That is the basic count. And then we do 4, 4, 4. Then we do 4, 6, 4. We hold a little longer. And then we will do 4, 6, 6. These are something that everybody, so to speak, can find something that can suit her or his condition. With one of these 3 rhythms, I think that everybody can find something to apply. And this is a very important breathing because really helps coordinating the energy, coordinating the heart, even lowering the heartbeat. And it's really, now there is so many of these kind of coordinated, coherent, or box, or whatever. They have so many different names, but the principle is the same. A certain ratio between inhaling, holding, exhaling, and eventually also empty hold. And there is different reason for different ratio, but this is the system of the Yantra Yoga Vairocana. It goes back to many centuries. And so there should be some kind of very precise base. Okay, we do that then. I will count, I will lead you through how we do. So when we do 6, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we exhale for 6, in reality we exhale for 3 and remain empty for 3. So it will be exhale, 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 empty, empty, empty. Every time in the rhythm we talk about the exhalation, in reality is divided in 2 parts. Half is going to be exhaling and half is going to be empty. Pretty much like when we do the 9 breathings. We exhale, then we stay empty, and then we inhale again. Inhaling and exhaling, you can have some idea how you can do that. All right. So we do 5 times 4, 4, 4. Then we change air like the last of the 9 breathings, a little vigorously, and then we do 5 times 4, 6, 4, change air, and then 5 times 4, 6, 6. Always inhaling and exhaling is fluid. A couple of breathings. Then we exhale, and we go. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, out, empty, empty. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, out, empty, empty. In, hold, open, relaxed, back straight. Out, empty. In, hold. Out, empty. In, hold. Out, empty. Change air. Let's coordinate together. Exhale. 4, 6, 4. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, out, empty, empty. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, out, empty, empty, in. Hold. Again, you don't push, you just relax in the hold with the back straight, doing nothing specific. Exhale. Empty. In. Hold. Relax. Suspend just the breath. Exhale. Nicely. Empty hold. In. Hold. Out. Empty. Let's change air. Now, 4, 6, 6. Exhale. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, out, out. Empty, empty, empty. In, 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 in. Hold, 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 hold. Out, 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 empty, 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 in. Hold, relaxed, don't push, don't close, don't block. Out, empty. In from below. Hold. Out. Empty. In. Hold. Out. Empty. And remain a moment relaxing. Okay, now we do our fast exhalation and then we finish. More a little on the tip of the chair. 7. Very, 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 and then relax. You can relax back or you can relax in front. The one you feel more suits you. Now you try to straighten your back. Still stay relaxed, but straighten the back. Okay. So we have finished the session. We have finished the sessions on the 8 movements. And I do hope that I made clear enough so that you can feel confident to practice. So you can practice and have the benefit from the practice. And thank you very much. I hope you all the best. Ciao, ciao.